guys. Today I'm going to do a list of toddler meals that I make for my kids and different just like snack ideas and things that I do for them to try to give some ideas. This was a request. So I'm going to do that today. Chew some gum. I'm going to do my tried and true bubblegum Trident. Let's see, I had one piece left in this old packet. And then in a minute I'll add another. So yeah, this is kind of going to be a combo video because somebody also recently asked for me to write down some things. I'm going to use a pencil, my notebook, and just kind of share some ideas with you guys. So, my kids right now, at the time that I'm making this video, are 19 months. Let me count that. Yeah. 19 months. So, you know, they eat what we eat for the most part. I have to say they're getting a little bit pickier, and it's a total bummer because, you know, for a while it's like babies will just eat anything that you give them and they're so happy to eat it. And I feel like, maybe it's because they have an older brother, but I feel like they are getting pickier sooner than their brother did. I don't know. Maybe it's because they see him not like certain things. I don't know. But it is a bummer when that happens because I like when I can just give them things and not waste food. But it doesn't always happen. Like last night I made a zucchini squash I sauteed zucchini and squash, and gave them, put it over rice and quinoa, and then put some of this gravy over it that we were having with our meal. And they hardly touched it. And I mean, I loved it. I ate that with some venison. But they previously had venison and didn't eat it, so I didn't give them any. I just gave them some of the gravy, the sauce that was on it. They hardly touched their dinner. And I'm just like, okay. So I'm just gonna first share some breakfast ideas. Things I typically do for breakfast for them. So I buy farm fresh eggs from my friend who has a farm. And it was bad because there were a few months there in the winter where her hens weren't laying and I wasn't able to get them, and I have gotten so spoiled because when I get even the cage-free eggs at the store, the yolk is light yellow, and the yolk of her eggs are almost orange, or an orange color. They're so deep and rich and yummy. So I make eggs a lot for breakfast. I've recently started scrambling them. Now, with my first child, I was really focused on trying to introduce all the spices to him so that he would like spice. So I would do paprika or chili powder on his scrambled eggs, just because I tried to flavor different things. And I did that with the baby some, but Not as much as I did with him because I'm like, y'all are gonna eat what we eat, so so yeah, I do scrambled eggs a lot. I've gotten into the habit. I never did this with my first child, but having 3 kids, it's like every meal is like a feat. So I've started getting Eggo waffles, like the frozen Eggo waffles at Sam's. I don't do this all the time, but sometimes I toast a waffle and give that to them with eggs, and always banana, always banana, and like often like another fruit as well. So I just naturally, like, the first thing I put on their tray is, with the babies, I open up a banana and like tear it in half and put one on his tray and one on her tray in their high chair, and they start with that while I'm like trying to get the other stuff ready. So then I'll give them eggs and maybe a piece of toast. I get the Dave's, what's it called? I don't know, but it's so good. And you can get it reasonably priced at Sam's in a 2-pack. So I'll just put one of them in the freezer and then pull it out and put it in the fridge when I'm ready. But it's so good and it's really healthy for you. It's got a lot of protein. I'll toast that Dave's bread. Sometimes I'll put a little butter on it or add a little, sometimes I'll add some jelly to that. And then I did this more with my son than I do with them, but yogurt is always like a go-to. And usually with them, it's kind of like if they're still hungry after what they've eaten, then I'll fix some yogurt. But I'll save that because I'm going to talk about that in a second. What else do I do for breakfast? When my 4-year-old asks for a smoothie, I'll make a smoothie for him, and he usually doesn't finish it because, you know, those kind of sit heavy, especially because I put oatmeal and yogurt in it. They'll always finish that. They love smoothies. And if I could just, like, I don't know, if I could put it in a bowl and let them eat it without it being everywhere, I would, but that's impossible. So like this morning, I gave them the rest of his smoothie, which oatmeal is another thing I do for breakfast sometimes. And sometimes I'll make it on my own and use like almond milk and add cinnamon and maple syrup and fresh fruit and stuff to it and make that and give it to him. And then sometimes I get a pack of the instant whatever. If I do that, if I get like instant strawberry oatmeal, I'll open it and pour it into a bowl and then add plain oats to it and mix it up to like make it go further and not be all the sugar, like spread the sugar out between the two. But I'll add like that much of just plain oats and mix it up. They like that a lot. You know, if we're doing something as a family, they'll eat, like, you know, if we do pancakes randomly, like, we don't do that often, but like when we do, they eat that. Right now I've got grapes. We just finished some strawberries, so I'll like keep some other fruit, fresh fruit in the fridge to give them as well. So that kind of covers breakfast. Lunch, man. I'm always trying to come up with lunch ideas. So the most basic lunch I do for them is like string cheese, lunch meat, either ham or turkey. Some veggies, like sometimes I do green beans, sometimes I do carrots. They really like tomatoes right now, so I'll get those like cherry tomatoes at Sam's and cut them up for them. They love those. But both of the babies have had diaper rashes recently, so when they get diaper rash, I try to cut out like acidic foods. So the past couple days I haven't been giving them those tomatoes, but yeah, that's kind of like the most basic lunch. Sometimes I make pasta, and like if I ever have a rotisserie chicken to shred for a soup or something, I always give that to them for lunch because it's always around that time, and I love that fresh off. They don't necessarily love it like heated up. Can't blame them, but that's the picky thing. I'm like, why? So I'll do that with some veggies and maybe cheese. Let me think. So another really good option for me is cheese quesadillas. And like sometimes I'll put chicken in that if I have it like on hand made already. But they love those. So like cheese quesadillas are like a really easy lunch idea for them. Sometimes I do chicken nuggets. This is another thing that like I didn't start with my son until way later, but like because I have a 4-year-old, of course we have chicken nuggets in the house, and so sometimes in a pinch I will give those to the babies. But I don't know why. I guess because I'm like, you don't need to eat that. You can eat other stuff. Whereas their brother is pickier, but sometimes we do that. Sometimes we just do like snack lunch. Like if we're going to the park or something, I'll have like almonds and I crunch those up for them, like bite them in half and stuff, and we'll do that. Almonds, cheese, tubes of yogurt, raisins are a snack that they love. Yeah, sometimes we'll just do that, which kind of leads me into the next portion of this video, which is snacks. For snacks, like I said, we do raisins a lot. They love raisins. Grapes, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, all the fruits. Those are the most common ones we keep in the house, I guess, right now. I'm excited about watermelon soon. All my kids have always loved watermelon. You know what? I used to do cottage cheese a lot with my son. I wonder if I should try that with the babies and see if they like it. Because my son loved it for a while. Okay, but I do yogurt for them. Like I'll get plain Greek yogurt. And sometimes I'll add like a little bit of maple syrup to it or something. Or I will put applesauce on top of it. Unsweetened applesauce. And I'll give them like half applesauce, half plain yogurt. And they'll eat that. Another snack is just plain old applesauce. They love applesauce. We always keep that at the house. Veggie or apple straws. We always have some variation of that in our house. Animal crackers. I was talking about those tubes of yogurt that you can get at Aldi. I think they're called like Moo tubes or something. I get those for my son for school, for his school lunches, but like sometimes the babies get to have them also. Cheez-Its. Sometimes we do Cheez-Its. I mean, snacks are easy, I guess, easier, but healthy snacks, you know, are a little harder. Nuts. The only reason I say they're harder is because, like, fresh stuff you've got to keep cold, or you got to eat it right away, or it's going to get smushed like fruit. And so, yeah, if we're home and I can, like, I'm not like trying to get stuff done, I'll sit down on the floor and feed them yogurt, applesauce, stuff like that. I can hand them strawberries and let them eat those. Something I'll do this summer, I've probably talked about on here before, but is I'll make homemade popsicles with like the juice from my watermelon, or yogurt pops, like maybe sweeten the yogurt with vanilla and syrup or banana and stuff like that, and make like popsicles, like freeze them, and they'll really like those. I should do like applesauce frozen. I bet they would like that. I've never done that before, but I bet they would like that. My sister used to really love frozen grapes, but it's a choking hazard right now. I can't do that. Okay, and then dinner time. Dinner is like whatever we are eating, honestly. So, I mean, like whatever meals I am making for my family, they're eating. Rice, chicken, and veggies, you know, sweet potatoes. I think I've talked about this recipe before, but they love, and so does my whole family loves, the diced sweet potatoes. And you just season, you just do like a little bit of like olive oil. Well, I do coconut oil, actually. It gives it a good flavor. I do a little bit of coconut oil, and then chili seasoning. What's that called? Chili powder and sea salt. That's it. Chili powder and sea salt. And I just bake them. Oh my word, they're so good. Just little cubes. I'm gonna do that tonight actually for dinner. We're gonna do like baked chicken, those salt and chili powder, diced sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna saute some broccoli. So yeah, I expect that they will eat well tonight. At least the sweet potatoes. I do love those. Yeah, like if we're doing soup, for example, I will just drain like the sauce out of the soup and give them the like whatever's in it, whether it's like chicken noodles, carrots, peas, whatever, or if it's like taco soup, they'll just get all, you know, the bones of the soup without the liquid to make more of a mess. So that's good to do. And then after dinner, if they want a snack, usually they get a banana. That's usually my after dinner snack. If they like are really wanting something before bed, we usually do banana. Sometimes I'll do applesauce, but I've gotten tired of them like not eating dinner and then wanting to snack. So I've kind of cut that out. like, I'm like, no, you need to eat your dinner. Like, if you're hungry, I'll put you back in your seat. Like, sometimes I'll keep their trays on their high chairs for a little while because I'm like, if you get hungry and you start asking for a snack, I'm just going to put you back in your seat so that you can eat. Because if you're truly hungry, you'll eat that. And like, I have a thing where if I know my kids don't like something, like they genuinely don't like it, then I'm not going to force them to eat it. Like, they need to try it at least. But if I know from a previous experience that they really hate something, then I'm going to offer them something else. I'm not going to force them to eat it. But if it's like, oh, yesterday I loved sweet potatoes, but today I refuse to eat them, like, that's not acceptable. Like, I know you like sweet potatoes, so you're going to eat them, like, or you're not going to eat anything else. Like, that's just how I feel, because I was raised, picky was like not even a thing. Like, we ate what my mom fixed. Sometimes it wasn't our favorite, sometimes it was. Like, you didn't ask for something else ever. And like, I want my children to like eat what's in front of them. Like, be grateful for what I've made you, and I'm not gonna make things intentionally that they don't like. But you know, whatever I've made, like, eat it or don't eat anything else. And of course, they're kind of at the age where it's tough to do that. Like, my 4-year-old, that's kind of our deal with him, is like, no, you're not eating snacks tonight. Like, you're not having a sweet treat. You're not eating stuff because you didn't eat your dinner. Like, I'm not gonna do that. If you're hungry, you can have what I made because I made your food. And so sometimes we'll be like, you know, okay, you need to go take 4 bites of what I made, before you can have anything else. You can't reason like that with my 19-month-olds, but we'll get there. So anyway, those are just some ideas. I hope that helped. I also like don't have summertime foods fresh on my mind because we haven't been in the summer. But I know I give them so much more. Like, avocado is like a staple in our home when the avocados are ripe. It's been so hard for me to find ripe avocados recently that like we haven't been eating that, but that's like a constant food in this house when we can get them. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your requests. Keep them coming. I have my list. I'm genuinely trying to work through it. So I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for watching.